All right, fellas. So we got on the table here a couple of interesting subjects. So Redmax, this one here is a newer one. This is the CHT2460. I forget what he told me this one was. Hold on. But it's an older version of this. And so I don't know a lot of history on it. He picked them up. He wanted me to work on them quick, and I can't work on them quick. This one now has a big crack in it. It goes all the way from here to here. I'll get a quick shot, but you can imagine it's just going to keep traveling. I think what happened was he tends to be too rough with his shit. I think he was like lay it in the car or the trailer or something and drove home. It was getting late, and he said it was abrading it. And he's damaged the machines before, not securing his equipment. It doesn't matter whether it's on the trailer or in your trunk. These blades are sharp. These machines, certain areas are fragile. You're going to damage it. This one here is older, and he says it ran, but it doesn't like to work out of position. It's not running right. I just peeked inside of it. I'll get you guys in a bit. There is, you know the lanyard? I'll show you. We call it the lanyard here. You know, so you don't lose the cap and misplace it. Might be a new one. I don't know, but this part of a different design is down in the tank. This is a little bit loose, but that does happen to a lot of these. Okay, it's set to run. We're going to use our 2-stroke. By the way, always test a machine with like really fresh fuel or buy fuel. You know, buy like premix. Let's see. That was full throttle. So she's trying to run. It's not warm yet. Full throttle. See, in full throttle will kill it. It smells a little lean. All right, one last thing real quick, which I forgot to mention. From my point of view, one of the problems we have as a mechanic and working on anything 2-stroke is one, if the fuel in here did seem a little off. So if the fuel isn't mixed right, and I've shown this on a couple other videos, or one of them was with a weed whacker, the guy added a little bit of extra oil into the fuel. Well, that carbonized the engine and destroyed it. A lot of people don't mix it right. They just refuse to. I don't know why they can't mix properly in ratios, but they don't. They don't put good fuel in it. And if they don't have enough oil in it, it will seize. And either or, it can wear more. And it's not well taken care of. So sometimes they don't come back fully. Like this one, I saw it spitting a little bit of fuel. It might have some other issues. And I don't have the compression tester for this, but that I look for at least 100 pounds. I got to get the compression tester with the extra adapters. This has got that really small plug, like a lot of like the Kohler started using. So what you can wind up is that sometimes you can't fix it. There has to be some minimum charge. I told them, you know, a certain charge, maybe we can get it working again. The thing is it's a time waster because it may not come back. It may not run right. It may just be a parts machine, and you have to figure your time and any materials you put into it. You could spend an entire day and make $50 with these stupid things, right? They're... Now, regardless of what a customer says, or your neighbor, or your in-law, or your friend, or when you bought it, the guy said, right, you don't know. Yeah, that looks a little dark and a little old. We'll get in a little closer. Yeah, there's a little bit of junk in there, nothing major. There's some junk in there, I can see it. Yeah, let me show you what I mean. Now, here it is. Hey, so that had a different cap on it. Now, I'm wondering, if the cap has anything to do with it. It looks similar. Yeah. Well, they got a replacement cap out of it. And did I not see this right? Where's the filter? Well, the filter's still there. That's good. Oh, she looks dirty, fellas. Can you see that? Let me get you in close. Ooh, what's that look? We got to clean this tank out. Here, let me show you. All right, so fuel, not great. But what's that? You guys seeing that? You picking that up? That's like the kind of dirt that's on the outside of the tank. So that could be part of it. That has been shoved down so hard that it's actually bent the plastic. So somebody's been in here. Again, I keep saying it. Stop using those banger tools. Stop it! People just keep using these stupid things and they don't understand, right? This one, you can't control it. It has no adjustment on it. And you need to learn how to screw things down and attach parts with your hands, because you need to learn how tight you're making things. Let's see if I can even get this off. Oh, that's not going to work. All right, nothing seems to fit in here now. It's been borked. So I'm going to wind up being defeated by something silly. I tried this bigger, wider screwdriver, and I don't think I can get it. We're going to have to use an impact. Nope, I can't get it to move. All right, well, stop it! This is an impact. So when we slam it, there's a spring in here, and it'll help us to turn this off, hopefully. Now, I'm going to make sure I'm on there good. Hold it down, and give it a twist, and now we're going to hit it. I got to try to look to see. Yeah, I think we got it. That's one. Yeah, I think we got that one too. Yeah. Oh my God, fellas. Should never, ever, ever have to do so. Oh my God, this thing's distorted. That might be what's wrong with this thing. You know, and that's why I said to him, like, I can't foresee all these things. And the problem with these little machines is there's no real good markup on any of it. There's no meat on the potatoes, and you know, you could wind up, looks like it's okay. You could wind up really getting screwed. All right, this all looks very good. So I don't see, where's my screwdriver? I don't see anything here, right? There's no gack in there. So what we're gonna do is blow this out with some gum out. And very light compressed air, and I'm taking this bladder off too, and that looks good. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use my transmission mix because it makes a really good release agent. Now this stuff, 50-50 tranny fluid, what have you, and gasoline. Don't use anything else, because you can use two-stroke on these gaskets and such, because you'll ruin them. No gum out or anything. This is in really good shape. Somebody might have put a new carburetor on this. There's no adjustments here, so yeah, there's nothing in there. There's no gack, but we're going to blow it anyway. And I got the tranny fluid on here, and before I put it on, with again, clean fingers, everything seems good. Now this is the diaphragm, the pump diaphragm. It's got to be like linen. And it is. So it's perfect. So there's nothing wrong there. I'm wondering, like, one, I know that fuel filter is not right. And when I pulled the fuel line off, I had a spurt. So it might even be holding pressure. All right, so carb's back together. Nice and clean. It was in pretty good shape anyway. And here's the plug. She's really in good shape. So it doesn't even need to be clean. That's like nice. Well, I cleaned all these parts, and I put my tranny sauce in here. A little bit into the spring area and pull area, and oh yeah, it was sticky. Plugs back in, tightened up. I primed it. It primed. That's a good start. I put a different filter in. She's on run. Choke off. All right, that's all the juice that I put in there. I also put a little bit more tranny fluid into the along the rings and stuff. Yeah, I think we got a parts machine here, fellas. That's what I think. Yeah.
Eventually.
Put a little bit of our two-stroke in there, but I don't think it's going to help. Yeah, she's done.
A few moments later.
All right, that one's dead. All right, we tried, like I said. Now, the only thing we can do now is try to get into that muffler, but we'll have to take the bulk of this machine off to do it. Like, we got to take it all apart. I don't know how to get this piece off. Like, it did not want to come off. We could try to break it off. That's an option. I'm going to look further. All right, let's do an update. So to get the muffler out, one of the bolts is over here. And I couldn't get it out with this impact. I used my other impact, and of course I broke my tool. Right, so now I'm down a tool. All right, I'm down a my Craftsman, a T25. So now I'm in a real deficit, right? So this is done, okay, in my view. This is garbage. So there's some parts on here. The carburetor is good. I won't take it any further, unfortunately. All right, fellas, let's see. Now, what have we learned, right? What have we learned? And this is what, October 2024. And once again, I've done a few other of these videos, and I kept saying it's very iffy. Because it ran, it was worth looking into. But as soon as you hit a problem, now if it's yours, look, if you find one used, consider it to be parts if the person that you bought it from can't demonstrate that it fully runs. Now, I noticed there was a couple of different screws on that transmission in those areas, and they're a little different colors. And we also saw evidence of the banger gun being used to put the carburetor in. Give me this thing. I'm taking this thing away from you. Stop it right now. Put this thing down. Learn out of when to use it. Stop it. Taking it away. Don't make me come over there. I'm going to effing take it away from you people. So something's not right. Somebody been in it. To try to get that muffler tube off, that's where I broke the tool. So I can't go any further. I just broke a tool. Like, and now the set is screwed up, right? And yeah, you can get another tool, but then that's like another thing you got to get. Look, if you're doing this for yourself and you want to fool around, I did it to help the guy out, but at the same time, to make a YouTube video, and I wouldn't touch it otherwise. And he was getting annoyed with me, and I got pissed at him because I said, bro, I worked a day with him, on a bunch of weed whackers, Husqvarna weed whackers. He tried going through a whole bunch with a friend of his, and they got something to work, and most of them didn't. And while he was here, I showed him, and I made him do some of the work. I'm like, look at all day. This is okay, all day, or half a day, which kills a day. If you work half a day, that kills a day. That kills shop time. And some of them didn't work, and he was swapping parts back and forth. It's only because you had a bunch of them. They're crap. And even these Redmaxes, something's not right. And what I noticed too is it looked like there was a single ring on the piston. So that's a problem because you won't be able to maintain a compression. And I don't have the tool to test these stupid little plugs. So I need to get that tool. But on the same token, for what? I really don't want to do these because it generally does not end well, typically speaking, and especially if the person did not do the mix right, over mixed it, like I said earlier, or whatever, or it's been used a lot by a contractor. It was very dirty. I cleaned it off to get in there and take a look. Now we couldn't even get that plastic piece off properly. And then I break a tool. So it's this wormhole that you go down. It's like this deep hole that will suck you in and more time will get wasted. They're just not worth it. Some of the electric stuff, you have to get the better stuff. For a homeowner, if you're going to be doing hedges once or twice a year, I have an older pool, and I think it is. It's an older one, and I like the layout of it. And I got it at the junkyard with 2 of them. Mikey set me up. I went through both of them. And I made one decent one out of it. You know, I modified it. I think I put that up on the channel a little while ago. So things to look out for. Like I said, make the person run it. Think about the price. The time to really kind of fix these and to maintenance them, clean them up, keep them clean so they stay cool. As you start to get all that dirt in there, it's going to run hotter. And when it runs hotter, it's going to burn out quicker. You want to make every effort to get the right mix. And no, I don't get involved with what brand mix to use. There's tons of videos out there in that argument. I would say if it's a still, take care of it. But stills break. It's just that they're more repairable. You know, get the Eco Fuel, whatever, but mix it properly. Buy the graduated cylinders or whatever. Or a lot of times what I do is I have a separate can, and on the little bottles that you get, it tells you what the ratio is. Go online, right? There's a lot of people that do it. Micksmowers, he's got a video on mixing these things properly. You can check him out, Micksmowers over there in the UK. Shout out to him. He'll walk you through that. Okay, and how to, one of his recommendations, hold on, which I really like, is because the fuel goes bad quick, right? So I buy 93 octane. I store about 15 gallons outside at any one time. I keep about 20 gallons. I usually keep like 5 in here in the garage, in the shop, which stays pretty nice. I like to start off with 93, 92, 93 octane. And I put a little stabilizer in, and I also like to put a little bit of top end oil just to help it out, okay? And just a little bit. And there's an argument as to whether that's good or not. Who cares? Okay. Sealed container, because the air here is constantly full of water and it's humidity, and there's alcohol, which will pull the water in. And if after a season in my little can that I fill from, and I do the mix in, I get rid of the fuel. I start putting a little bit in my Honda mower and my tractor. I just liberate it, lose it. Don't throw it out. It's still good. But these things will not run properly unless you put good gas in. And I put better gas. I put his other gas in, which is good gas. I even added a little bit of regular fuel to it just to spike it up. It's not going to run. My guess is if there is some kind of filter or spark arrest, I should say, somewhere in there, we ain't getting at it. So like I said, Mick has got a video on mixing up small amounts of fuel, enough for what you're going to be doing. Because if you don't have that many two-stroke machines laying around, it's a good idea to think about, well, I don't want to leave any fuel in the machine, and I'm going to put the machine away properly. And the couple of times that I go to do my hedges every year, especially something like this, because it's probably twice, mix up what you need for that job, and then empty everything out when you're done and liberate it into your mower. And he's got a very good tutorial on that. So I don't think I'm going to make one. He did that a while back. What have we learned? You're going to waste a lot of time. I got to tell him now. I'm like, I told him before, and I'm not going to say it again. This is the last chance I get with him. You know, don't pressure me. Don't push me. This is the stuff that, you know, you put on the side, you leave it laying around the shop. He's like, well, I guess I have to have other machines. Yeah, if you're trying to build your contracting business, you don't, 2 weeks on average. No weekends, none of this at night stuff, coming over, dropping stuff off. None of that. That's all pro bono. That's all like extra icing on the cake. Don't Don't, he was thinking that was going to be like the way I do business. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Most of this stuff, you just turn it away. If a person, neighbor, customer, whatever, it wants maybe if you to take a look at it, if you're very skilled, just be clear. Leave it here when I get to it. Could be weeks, days, months, year. But I'm not rushing into it because it's a waste of time. I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me not waste any more of your time or mine. I got to go clean up. I'll see you later.